too much, right? There's a behavior, there's a consequence, we're done, right? And when we come out, we're not beating the dead horse when they come out. Let's talk about it all. Let's rehash the whole thing again. No, that's when you pray that they do it over again. And then you get to give the consequence again, and they get to figure it out. Like, we want them to get this. And if they don't, they'll just do it again, right? And then you give the consequence again. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I read somewhere when they ask the same thing over and over, to say asked and answered.
Oh, yeah, that's
like,
good.
don't ask again.
Right.
It was asked and answered.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I love you too much to argue. I love you too much to argue. I love you too. I only argue at 4. Right. I only argue at 3. I only argue when the sun goes down. I only argue at 10, and their bedtime is 9. Yes. Right? Okay. When we argue, they don't have to feel responsible for their behavior. They get to be mad at you. Right? That's how we avoid responsibility. As adults, we do that. Right? I would rather be mad at you than feel guilty about what I did. Right? We actually seek out to pick a fight when we feel bad about stuff. Kids do that too. Right? And they don't want to feel, nobody wants to feel bad and feel guilty. That's why we want to fight instead. Because they get to be mad at you for not being able to go to that party that they wanted to go to, and not at themselves because they failed their spelling test again. Right? So it's there. So when we get into those situations, we need to just feel sad. Right? We're not arguing, we're just feeling sad for them. Oh, no. Got an app? Ugh. I hate that you're going to miss the party. Oh, what do you mean I'm going to miss the party? And you're like, I know you wanted to go. I know. And then you move on, right? And they're right behind you. What do you mean I can't go? What do you mean? And you just think, I know. I hate that, right? And they're following you because they need to be mad at you. They don't want to be mad at them because they didn't study again, right? They need this to be your fault that they aren't going to this party. You did this to them. So as soon as you turn around and engage in that moment, now they're just mad at you and they don't have to feel responsible for their behavior. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Lecturing is one-sided. It's not effective. We teach life lessons when it's good. So in the car, on road trips, at the dinner table, life lessons are two-way conversations, right? We want input from them. They get to have some say. What is it like to be a friend? What do you think that means? And when they answer, you hear fantastic things, right? What they believe a friend is like is amazing to hear from them, right? As they get older, what do you think about sex? What do you think about 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds having sex? What do you think about that? And then you get to hear what they actually think. And then you get to say what you believe, or what the Catholic Church believes, or how you were raised, right? But then it's a way more meaningful conversation, right? And it's not one-sided like a lecture. Okay. I'm still okay. Okay. So how do we improve communication? We have to respect them, right? You have to respect them because they have all the same emotions that you do and the least amount of tools to manage them, right? Respect is a two-way street, even with the children. So do you walk in the room and change the channel on the TV when they're watching TV? Right? Do you talk over them when they're talking? Do you interrupt them when they're talking? Do you say things like nobody cares? Right? Because we get offended when somebody interrupts us when we're talking. Right? Do you do that? Don't negate their feelings. It doesn't matter how old they are. Right? They have all the same feelings that you do. So because your 4-year-old is saying that her feelings got hurt at school because her friends weren't playing with her, that is a big deal for a 4-year-old. Her friends weren't playing with her. What would that be like for you if your friends weren't playing with you? Even right now, at your age, it would hurt your feelings, right? So don't negate their feelings because they're little. I had a dad one time, the kindergartner, right? Dad was getting the kindergartner up for school. There were other littles in the house that didn't have to get up that early, right? So the dad got the kindergartner up for school, ready for school, out the door, right? Brought him to school. Well, I found out that there was a lot, it was not going well in the morning, right? The 5-year-old was having a hard time, they were fighting, it just wasn't going as expected. So I asked, how are you getting him up, right? What are you doing when you wake him up? And the dad said that he'd go in there, he'd shake him, say his name, turn on the light, walk out the door, yelling, it's time to get up. We gotta get up, we gotta go, gotta start our day. Because the dad had stuff to do too. He had to get himself ready for work. You know what I mean? It's busy, it's the morning, right? So he shakes the kid, right? It's time to get up, flips on the light, walks out the door. Come on, you gotta get up. Walks down the stairs, right? So I suggested that maybe the wake up is a little different. Like, can you wake him up kindly? Like how maybe you would like to be waking up. So maybe go get in bed with him, right? Maybe just talk to him. Just lay in bed and just start talking. We gotta get up. Want to know about the weather today? Do you have anything fun happening at school? What kind of cereal do you want for breakfast? Is there anything you want in your lunch that I didn't put yesterday, right? And the dad was totally fine with that. Like, he just set his alarm 10 minutes earlier to go get in the bed and have a little bit longer to wake up. And it completely changed the mornings. That's all the dad did different, right? Then the kid was up, did everything he was supposed to do. There was no arguing. The rest of the morning went smoothly, right? And it was about respecting him and how he wants to get up and being kind first thing in the morning, right? And that was never an issue again for them for the rest of the school year, which is awesome. Okay. We good? Yeah. Okay. Do you have any quick questions? I know, I feel like that was like I just threw a lot out there on y'all.
Is it ever too late to start I mean, not that it's too late, but like as your children become 16, 17,
Yeah.
18 years old, you've lost a lot of time.
Right. It is not, ever. It's never, right? Because they'll just do it. They'll be like, oh, we're doing this now? Okay, right? It does not make a difference. Like, you can start when they're littles, you can start when they're 10, you can start when they're 15. It doesn't matter, right? Especially with the choices. Because as they get older is when we start, there's a lot of power. I mean, the power struggles start really little. The power struggles look bigger when they're bigger, right? And like curfews and driving and all that stuff needs to be a conversation and not a lecture. You know what I mean? Like, we don't just set a curfew. Like, each night that they want to go somewhere, you need to have a conversation about what time they should be home. What time, how much time do you need? When do you need to come back? Right? A lot of kids, if you say your curfew's at 10, no matter what, it's at 10, it's at 10. Every night it's at 10. They were done at like 8:30, but they weren't coming home at 8:30 because you told them they could stay out till 10. So now they got to go find something to do until 10 o'clock. Whereas if you had a conversation and it was, yeah, we should be done about 8:30, right? Then you're like, all right, if that changes, let me know, right? We'll talk about it. But all of it is still about choices, especially as they get older.
How do you tee it up? You just start doing it?
Yeah, just start.
No explanation?
No, yeah.
This is what I learned or anything like that?
Yeah,
Just do it.
no, just do it. Just try it. Yeah. All right, it looks like that was those.
Thank you.